Mom, I have a few questions for you from your time performing at the Met. Even though you've told me these stories a million times, you're officially saying goodbye to the stage, and I think it'd be fun to share them with our audience. So, my first question for you is, do you remember how you felt during your Met debut?
Sure.
What was the day like and the days leading up to it?
I was ready.
Mm-hmm.
I was prepared. I wasn't nervous until Morley Safer from 60 Minutes said to me, like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe,
you're letting us in before."
Yeah, and then I got nervous. I had sung the role a lot in lots of other places. I mean, I came to the Met years after I had been already singing it,
Sure.
so I was familiar with it. I knew what I was doing. I was prepared. And I was just so excited. Quite frankly, I was really more excited for Nana, and my voice teachers than I was for myself.
Sure. For them to see it, or?
For them to see it, for them to know that I got there to that pinnacle. I think especially for Nana, all of the years of, carting me around from rehearsal to rehearsal for this school program and that thing. And then, when I made the announcement that I wanted to become an opera singer, it was so strange.
Sure.
To them, to my family. And, Nana was like, "What? Don't you already know how to sing? I mean, what do you mean? Like, you can get a degree in singing? Are you kidding me?" And I think I had a lot to prove. I felt like I had a lot to prove to them that this was a good choice. It was what was right for me. And even though Nana didn't really understand, the real significance of the Metropolitan Opera, she knew it was a big deal. And she knew for me to get from, A to Z, she could see from the sidelines that cost, the personal cost, the years of struggle, of prayer, of constant study, of, being excited about something, then being let down about something. All the years of that sort of whiplash kind of like, it's good, it's not good, it's good, it's not good. And hearing me cry and get excited about things, that constant back and forth,
sure,
the years of training, the money that it cost, the constant, the constant training and study, which is ongoing, and it's always ongoing. It never stops. You never get there and say, "Okay, I'm done with that." No. There's one thing on the entry into it. There's another thing on being able to sustain a high level of excellence through many, many years. That's getting there is one hurdle. Staying there is a completely different animal altogether. But I was really happy for her because she brought all her friends.
I know. I heard this story.
She brought all her friends from Washington, and they were so excited. And 60 Minutes was doing this story on this hometown girl who wanted to be this opera singer, and she made it to the Metropolitan Opera. So I was happy for my mother. I was happy for my voice teacher, Miss Hodum, because she poured a lot into me. She was a real particular kind of lady. She was real old school. And she didn't suffer fools gladly at all. She had a standard, and you had to live by that standard. So I know she loved me. She was proud of me. But she didn't hand that out freely. She wasn't very demonstrative. She wasn't, overly effusive at all. In fact, I mean, even if you sang well, she'd say, "Well, you need to work on this, or this wasn't right, or you missed this here." And, I remember my junior recital at Oberlin. She dug through her purse the entire concert. Like, she was like right there in center, and I saw her the whole time looking through her purse. It was too hard, I think, for her to face it and to really confront it. So And again, she would never really say that you were great. She'd say, okay, good, but there's a lot of work to do. For me, I really wanted to prove to her, look at what I did. I did this, you know. And so I was happy about those moments. I was happy. I felt calm. I felt ready.
Yeah.
But I was really happy for Nana, and I was happy for my voice teacher.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they were happy.
And they were so happy. I mean, you know, they understood it very differently. You know, my voice teacher didn't. She came along at a time where she wasn't really an opera singer. She did more radio.
Sure.
At that time, but she came along. You know, for Nana, this was completely new and foreign territory. She didn't know what this was, but she knew that it was a big deal.
Right.
And her friends knew that it was a big deal, and they were all coming to New York, and so I was really happy I was so happy for Nana because she told me many years later, like recently, in the last 10 years, that I would have never known this, but she said she wanted to be a performer.
Really?
I had no clue.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
No, she never ever mentioned anything about that, but I know that her life was, you know, it was hard. It was hard at the time that she came along. You know, her mother died when she was really young, and so she didn't have that model in front of her. She had Aunt Lib.
Happy birthday, Aunt Lib.
Happy birthday, Aunt Lib. She was doing a lot of things, just flying by the seat of her pants, trying to figure it out. And then she had 3 kids on her own. She was trying to figure that out. And it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard for her. You know, she wasn't making like a great salary. She made enough to take care of us and everything, but she was always working. The idea of living a dream was completely foreign.
Sure.
I mean, you worked. You did what you had to do to take care of your family and to provide. This idea of having this really lofty dream and pursuing that and then getting that was not anything in her realm of understanding or consciousness at all. I just know that she struggled, that her early life was hard, for sure. Her life as a mother was hard. And so those moments of joy were rare.
Right.
I mean, she got a lot of her satisfaction and fulfillment from church, for sure. And from her, you know, the people at church.
Right.
That was really her family. But the idea of having, you know, a life of something that you dreamed of was not even anything that was ever a remote possibility. To even talk about your own happiness, what you would like. Remember when the Japanese princess got married? And I was so obsessed with what her life was going to be like. And one of the things that they said is that you were not ever to speak of your own happiness, that your job was to serve your husband's family, but to never even speak of your own happiness. And so I thought of Nana in that way, that it wasn't even a consideration. It wasn't even a dream that she could dream in her mind, or certainly that she could dream out loud. So I was happy for her because I'm an extension of her.
Yeah.
And what I think a lot of parents want to see is you want to see your children fulfill their destinies. You know, Uncle Ronald was talking with Nana once when you were really little. And Nana was traveling around with me and taking care of you and taking care of Max. And I guess she told him, because he told me, that she said, this is my time too. Like, to get to travel and to go around. And I never even thought of such a thing. Like, this was a moment for her to live out some things that she didn't even know was a possibility to travel around the world. And I just was thinking that I was going around the world doing my thing. I never considered what that experience was like for her. So that's a long way of saying I was very happy for her. happy for my voice teacher, and I was happy for Nana.
Oh.
I remember it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is two questions, but,
Okay.
you know. Of all the characters you've portrayed at the Met, which was the hardest? And if you could be friends with one of those characters, who would it be and why?
I mean, they're all different, and you said the roles at the Met, so that's very different
specific.
from my whole body
Mm-hmm.
roles, and there are just so many different roles. I mean, people know me, or they talk about me with those two, Carmen and Delilah, but I did over 85 different roles, and actually even more than that.
Over your life or at the Met?
No, over my
Oh,
career.
okay.
So many different roles. I would say, although I don't know that she would be friends with me, I would say I would like to sort of watch Carmen.
Yeah, I'd like to be friends
I'm not
with
sure
Carmen.
that you'd like to be friends with her.
Yeah,
I don't know if she would have friends in that way,
sure.
like girlfriends that she
Yeah.
would like confide in and sit down with. And I think I would like, to observe her, and I think that I did. I don't know if she and I would be friends. I also don't know if, Delilah and I could be friends, because she was on a mission.
Sure.
She was very focused. She's real different from Carmen. She was super calculating. And she had a heavy responsibility to her people and her God. And she had to pull through because they didn't even have an army. Like, nobody could defeat this guy, Samson. It was all resting on her.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know that we could be friends. I think she was really had to be focused on what she was. She didn't have time. I know that I learned the most about life from Carmen. No question about it. No question about it.
Is that the hardest, you'd say? Hardest role?
It's hard because it's physically demanding.
Sure.
It's like you're in every act, and you've got to carry every scene that you're in. So you can't be tired.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be on top of your game, and sometimes you're tired.
Okay.
Or sometimes you don't feel well.
Yeah.
Or all of the different things that you have to. Nobody cares about that. You've got to go in and you've got to make it happen. So I would say that it was hard from a physical standpoint, and also, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I think a little bit thankless.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I get that.
I think thankless because she doesn't have a moment alone on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You never get to see her or what her thoughts are. I don't think she ever gets a proper aria. The habaneras with the chorus, the seguidillas with Don Jose, the gypsy songs with Frasca de Mercedes, the card trios with Frasca de Mercedes. Her music is very, very different from that of Micaela and that of Don Jose. Their music is much more sweeping, much more cantabile, I see hers as very sort of vertical.
Right.
And
I can see that.
Yeah, and so it's hard from that standpoint that you've got to be energized, you've got to carry those scenes. It's demanding in that way. And the habanera is tricky too, because usually you're coming in from the cigarette factory or wherever you're coming in from, and they stage you way upstage, and the orchestra is really pianissimo. You can't hear it, and it's all in chromatics, and so it's very easy to go out of tune. Super easy to go out of tune. I was always worried. Always.
Oh, no.
Every performance, I was always worried. And I try to find a way to get downstage as soon as I could to really hear the orchestra. So it was hard in that way.
Yeah.
But to sing, Delilah was harder. But I enjoyed Delilah way more.
Really?
Way more.
I don't know if people would think
it's not
that.
even a comparison. That's not even a comparison. I mean, to sing Delilah was just, it was a joy. I mean, sweeping lines. Je viens célébrer la victoire. Like her first entrance, it's written so well. It puts you right in the middle part of your voice. You can even warm up.
At the beginning.
In the very beginning. It gives you a perfect amount of time before you have to come in. So it's so beautifully written. But it is serious singing. Like you can, if you're not informed.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Amour, viens aider ma faiblesse. You gotta sing the B flat or the G. I mean, you got don, 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 don. You come right out of the gate swinging.
Sure.
Act 2 is Delilah from start to finish. And the singing only gets harder and more demanding.
Yeah, so you can't get tired.
Act 3 is hard because you're tired from Act 2. And you've got the higher singing in Act 3.
Really?
Yeah, it gets higher.
Okay.
And after you've done all that singing, your voice wants to settle and drop, but it can't. So I always had to like warm up and stretch the voice, to try to stay lifted. Yeah. So it was definitely a greater challenge, but it was way more satisfying. I would take Delilah over Carmen any day. Any day.
I don't know if people would think that. That's okay.
Any day.
Wow. All right. Okay. Who were some of your favorite collaborators during your time at the Met? So I don't know if that means maybe co-stars or whatever you interpret that as.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna certainly say Neil Shikoff because he became a really good friend, and I loved him and I love his personality. We had a lot of fun together.
Sure.
I would say I was always very excited whenever I sang with Placido, and I sang with him a lot in all the roles. Because he was who he was, and I always knew I had to bring my A game next to him.
Right.
So he made me better.
That's nice though, to have someone who you know is gonna push you to like get your act together.
It was like there was no anything. There was no phoning it in. There was no. You just gotta show up ready to go because he was gonna do his best, and you were gonna do your best. And so he always raised the level of my games. I always enjoyed working with him because of him. His reputation pushed me. So I would say, I never really performed with Richard Troxell at the Met.
Oh.
But I loved him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Still love him.
Because I still love him because he's fun, he's normal. Maybe I could say John Holiday. We performed in the hours, and I liked talking to him during the breaks, and I liked talking to him, in the rehearsals. Definitely the director Franco Zeffirelli. He was particular, and he was very raw. He just said it like it was, like he saw it. I would say he made a big difference in my life, in my artistic life, because I think also because of the language. Sometimes when you don't have the sophistication of,
you have to be blunt.
You have to be blunt, and so he was really blunt, and I appreciated it. I mean, after I was shocked at first, I was like shocked. Like he told me right out, like he said one time, I think you're beautiful, but you're too fat. And he just said it, right? Like these days, like
I was gonna say, you can't say anything like that anymore.
But I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Because I felt like somebody like that.
I can kind of get that.
You can trust them. They're not going to say something behind your back. They're going to say right, and you know who's standing in front of you.
Right.
I liked it because there was zero filter. He was super blunt. And if he said you were good, then you were good.
Yeah. And it's not just like saying.
Yeah, he wasn't just trying to, so I liked working with him because he was incredibly direct. He was brilliant and a genius. He was also really, really direct, and he would like to sometimes just sit and talk about the character before you even got in the room. He'd say, "What do you think? Well, who do you think she is? Why do you say that? What?" And he said some things to me that I would have never even ever considered. Never. I mean, like when some things he said to me, I'd say, "What?" Like not even at all would have ever in a million years thought that. So it was great to have that perspective. So I would say I learned a lot from him. It felt like, insider trading, like information that I wasn't supposed to have. He told me.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, well,
Ish.
you got to get over yourself.
Yeah.
You have to get over yourself. You have to understand where he's coming from. And that might be really different to understand, you know, this Italian man from another generation, how he was and the way that he wanted to see his women portrayed. And he was very sort of flamboyant, and he just called it straight out. One thing happened. I was doing Carmen in the Arena di Verona, and I was upset because the makeup people didn't have, you know,
Oh, well, yeah.
the right color makeup. Like they either had something that looked like tar, right, like black.
Sure. This is in Italy?
This was in Italy, and this was back in the day.
Yeah. So they can't help you.
They couldn't help me. And like I was like, look at this makeup, like what kind of, and he came into my dressing room, he said, I heard you're upset about the makeup. And I said, yeah. He said, well, this is your fault. And I said, why is it my fault? He said, it's your fault because you are a great diva. He said, if you know you need something that's going to make you better, get it for yourself. He said, why do you think you're going to come to Italy? We don't have a lot of black people over here. Why do you think you're going to come to Italy and we're going to have the exact shade that you're used to? This is your fault because you should have in your bag with you all of the things that you need to ensure that you look the way that you want to
do
look.
your job.
So he said, don't give the girls a hard time. And, you know, after I initially got over the, like, what?
The shock of that, yeah.
I thought he's absolutely right. And that's why I'm like I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I carry, like, all these extra
Everything in your
gowns,
purse.
all these extra shoes, everything in my purse to make sure that I have what I need. Because when you get up there to perform, it's just you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not your voice teacher. It's not your coaches. It's not anybody else. It's just you. And I always felt that I really wanted to look my best because I felt good.
Of course. If you look good, you feel good.
I think so. And so that meant that I had to make sure that I had the stuff and the tools and the materials that I needed, you know, for myself. And so it was and then I wasn't stressed. I wasn't stressed when I went like, oh my God, I hope you got the right kind of lashes. I'm like, oh my God, I hope you're going to have the right
colors. And like
colors.
take that equation out entirely.
Just take it out. It's already stressful enough to just sing.
Yeah.
And everything that means. Make sure that you have what you need to have. And I'm the way I am today because of Franco Zeffirelli. Because and again, I don't know anybody else who would have said that the way he said it.
Sure.
He was like, well, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You know. So he was just like that. I was like, how's it my fault? And I think he was right. So I enjoyed working with him a lot. There was a director, he's gone on now, Jonathan Miller, who was really funny and Englishman. I loved coming to rehearsal just to hear him talk.
Yeah. Not
just with his English accent, but he had a lot of funny anecdotes about things. He had so many incredible stories. And he used to hold court, and we used to sit around like little chicks at him telling us stories about some of the great singers of the other last generations. And he was really witty, and I liked being in his company. So I liked him a lot, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced over the course of your career?
Oh, what?
I mean, you know, there's probably several thousand, but the largest challenges and like, what did you do? How did you overcome them?
Consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency. Being great every night, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
If you're sick, if
you're
this,
tired,
you're
sick. Like right now, I feel sick. Like you're tired, you're sick. The voice isn't working. You've got your cycle. You've got
got in a fight with
name it. You name it. Being able to count on the instrument to be there and on Friday night the way it was on Tuesday evening. Consistency. And that all goes back to vocal technique.
Yeah.
Period. If you don't have the technique, then you're not going to have the career.
And also lifestyle.
Lifestyle too. What do you mean?
I just mean, if you know you need to be great every night, you need to be asleep at this time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Whatever.
You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to say no. You have to not eat this. You've got to make sure you're quiet and whatever works for you. You got to get out and exercise. You've got to make sure you know your music. All of the things, and that does not go along with your friends and your family's lifestyle. It does not. So that's inherently, a conflict. Because, Dad, I mean, you know how much in love with him I am, but he'll come and do every classic mistake.
Of course.
I'll send everything out beforehand. Okay, this is where you're going. This is where you're staying. This is where you pick up your tickets.
You do everything you can do.
I do everything, and
so
then it'll
you can
still
be left alone.
8 phone calls. Where do we go?
Where do we go? What is
how do we pick up the ticket? Can we meet you afterward? Is there an intermission? Is there all of that stuff that you have to do to take care of somebody else when you need all of your energy to take care of yourself?
Yeah.
That kind of thing is costly. Even at the Met, and I'm sorry to say this, everybody. Even at the Met, there is a parade and a barrage of people knocking on the door saying, how are you feeling tonight? And they're the 9th person to do that. And it makes me crazy. Sorry, maybe I can say that now, but I'm leaving.
On the way out, I always thought that. Like when we,
how are you feeling tonight? Are you feeling good? Is everything okay? That takes 25 minutes by the time the 9th person comes by.
Sure.
That eats into your preparation time, getting your head straight, all that stuff, because you're entertaining people. I cannot stand it.
Yeah. We were talking about that the other day where that finally clicked for me. It was like, I think back when I was younger and constantly calling or asking for this and doing that, and now I am in a position where I'm like, no, please don't.
And even if you put a sign, because at the Met we have it's magnetic, and you can put a do not disturb. Everybody thinks that doesn't mean them.
Sure.
Everyone thinks but not
the
me.
Exception, yeah.
Yeah. And nobody has anything to say. Nobody. How are you feeling? Good? You excited? Ooh, here we go.
And that's it.
Yay! So you've got to spend all that time entertaining them. That I don't like.
Okay. Yeah, that's rough.
Well, it's just a nuisance.
Well, sure.
It's not rough, but if you're in difficulty that night, if you're struggling for whatever the reasons are, that's the last thing you want to have to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is my last question.
Okay.
Do you have any memories of the Met, of me at the Met when I was really small, when I was little?
I don't think that I really brought you backstage.
Yeah.
I brought you backstage in Chicago. I know that.
But that was much later. Chicago, or unless you're talking about a different time.
Earlier, because you were really little. I think that when I went to the theater when you were really little, I left you at home or with Nana or one of the nannies or something. I didn't bring you into the theater because that was smart. Me doing my work.
Yeah.
I had you at Washington Opera for sure because I was still nursing. I remember that when I was doing Trovatore, I was nursing in the wings.
Oh.
San Diego, some different places, but I didn't have you as a little baby at the. I had my dog there in the beginning.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, when Madison was really that big.
Mm-hmm.
But this was back when we could do those things.
Sure,
but I think that when you were, little, I just was trying to get the work done, and I didn't want to subject you or myself to it. I remember when I did with Los Angeles, you were really little, and I was singing the role of the dragon in Grendel, and I looked. I mean, first of all, it was 3 hours worth of makeup. And I had you with me there so that you could see the process. So it was me because you would freak out. Yeah. So that was intentional because I wanted you to see how I transformed because it just would, that's my mom's voice and that looks like my mom, but what is this creature that ate her, right? So, but I didn't have you at the Met when you were really little.
Mm-hmm.
No.
That seems smart. Probably. There's that one picture. Maybe we can find it and like clip it into the video later. You know the picture of you. You're still dressed as Carmen, and I'll show it to you later. But it's like I was really little, and I'm pretty sure I was wearing the smocked gingham dress with the ladybugs or whatever on it, and you like. It's online somewhere, but you were still dressed as Carmen. It's just you from the back. We can't even see you from the front, and you were like celebrating or something.
That was Chicago Lyric.
Oh, okay.
That was Chicago Lyric because Nana was there with me, and every time I came off stage, there was a common area there, like a lounge that you passed through, and you were always like, ah, you know. That was Chicago Lyric. That was when I did Carmen. I know what that was now.
Yeah. I like came across it, but.
Do you remember that?
No. I just mean I saw the picture online somewhere, and I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
But yeah. Those are my questions. But congratulations on this, outrageous accomplishment. And I think you've said like you're ready.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm fulfilled. I'm excited. I have complete peace about it. I don't have any regrets.
Yeah. Nor should you.
I did what I wanted to do. And I had a wonderful time. The most fabulous thing for me were the people that I met, people who became my friends. I just met some of the most magnificent people along the way. And that has been really, really meaningful. Some of the people, even like fans in the audience who became my friends, many of them.
Yeah.
So that part about it, getting to meet people and getting to know people, for me has been probably the greatest part about all of it.
Well, okay. We're very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ella.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Thank you.